So, welcome to this episode of Becoming Fearless. In this episode of Becoming Fearless, we got a short interview with Anthony.
Hey.
Anthony is actually a client and now a coach. He's becoming a fearless coach. And he had an amazing experience the other day. He actually posted it on our secret Facebook page, and I thought it was so fascinating. I knew we had to have him in here to really illustrate a concept that we talk a lot about. We get heavy into when we get into our experience workshop. And this concept is the concept, well, it's several concepts in one, but it's really just one concept. It's this idea that less is more. When you get really proactive and you stay present, I mean, really present with the moment, you don't have to say as much, you don't have to do as much, less is more. We're our own worst enemy. Our ego tries to take us out. Our mind thinks, I need to say this, I need to do this, I need to say that, I need to be this way. And you don't realize the power of stillness and silence and taking your time. And Anthony's got a beautiful illustration of this from the other day. You said you were at a hookah bar?
Yeah, the hookah lounge, yeah. So I was totally sitting there hanging out, waiting for my hookah to come. And I saw these two women come in, two awesome looking women. So they sat about, I'll say about 10 feet away from me on the side of the couch over here, a little further down. And so I'm sitting, I'm just enjoying myself. And I don't know if you guys know about hookah, but hookah actually raises your nerves a little bit. So you start to feel your nervous system a lot more. And so I was just kind of feeling all that stuff that was going on.
So you start, because when I have hookah, you tend to feel a little...
Yeah, totally.
Pretty good, yeah.
Yeah, so I was feeling all that.
Give me 1 second. Yeah, so when you have hookah, or when I've had hookah in the past, you get this nice little kind of buzz feeling, and you feel really good.
Yeah.
So
I was getting up to there, and I started to feel the body kind of loosen up a little bit, and everything was starting to be very pronounced. And so I'm sitting there, I'm kind of like, okay, cool, this is feeling right now, so I'm just going to enjoy what it feels like. And so I was doing that, and
so you're sitting there having hookah, you're relaxed.
Yeah, totally.
And you're feeling good in your body, right?
Yeah, totally.
And you're enjoying your body, and you're enjoying the moment.
Yeah.
So you're giving off this good vibe just sitting there. Okay.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Totally. Feeling that buzz going through my arms and everything. And so
this doesn't mean you need to go out and get buzzed on anything. We actually encourage being sober to learn and grow, but this is a little different. Keep going.
Yeah, you get that buzz without hookah too all the time.
Yeah,
so.
you do.
Yes.
I watch you do it too. You can tell by the smile you get.
Yeah, totally. So, anyways, I noticed one of the girls gets up and she leaves. The other girl's greeting the other girl goodbye. She leaves, and so that girl's sitting there by herself, and I'm still just sitting here in the corner, kind of just enjoying myself. Like, I got the Sedona Method book there. I was kind of reading it, kind of checking out a little bit, looking at the chandelier, but just ultimately feeling my body. And I noticed that I feel like she was looking over a little bit.
Notice he said feeling his body, not thinking, not analyzing in his head. Go ahead.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, so like in my peripherals, I was seeing her kind of looking over a bit, and I would just kind of, it would make my nervous system jump because I'm like, oh shit, like, should I look over and say something too, or what should I do? And I remember feeling that, and I was like, just like relax and just keep feeling what you're feeling. Like, stop taking yourself out of the feeling, because it was a distraction, really.
Yeah, so that's the reactivity. That's the part of you that wanted to, your mind's gone. You need to do something. You need to fix something.
Yeah, totally.
And there's this rush inside. Mm-hmm. We label reactivity as this, is you feel the tension building because she's looking at you, and then your ego or nervous system wants to get out of the tension as fast as possible. So it wants to do something about the tension right away. Say something, do this, run here, walk away. Get out of here, or whatever your nervous system wants you to do. There's a sense of rushing inside you, right?
Yep, totally.
And so what'd you do? You said you just relaxed.
Yeah, I just relaxed. I didn't really look over. I just kind of hung out and just kind of continued staring at the chandelier a little bit. And I did that for about 10, 15 minutes. And the store owner walks in, and he's having a conversation with her about the music. And he's, talking loud. So I look up and I see him. I'm very present with him. And so he starts talking to me too. And so we're all talking back and forth. And then he leaves, he comes back again, and he leaves again. And there was this awkward moment where it was kind of like, okay, I'm sitting here. I kind of engaged with the girl a little bit during that three-way conversation. But now that the owner left, I don't really have anything to say. And I started to kind of beat myself up about it, because I'm kind of like, well, it should be easy to talk to her now because you're already talking to her.
That's the reactivity again, right?
Yeah, totally. Okay. Yeah, totally. Like, you should do this. You should be doing this. And so I just sat with it for a bit, and I was kind of like, okay, how about you just don't, and you just kind of continue feeling. And I was like, okay. But then it was a worry in my head. It was like, if I don't talk to her, she's going to leave. So I noticed that, caught it, and I was like, let that go too. Kind of just sit.
Another reactive thought. Okay.
Yeah, totally. A ton of them. So I just sat there again, and I was just like, whatever. And probably about 5 minutes later, she kind of leans over, and she's like, do you like the music? And I looked at her, and I was like, yeah, the music's good. And I kind of came back and kind of just continued feeling again. And then she was just like, she turned over again and mentioned something about the music, telling me it was Arabic music. And I was like, oh yeah, it sounds real nice. And so I went back to what I was doing and kind of kept feeling, because I noticed every time she would do that, I had this tendency to be like, continue the conversation, say something more to her. And I was like, really, I didn't have anything to say. I was just chilling. She was just chilling. I was just chilling. And so I went back to my chilling, and then she had mentioned something else to me. And so I was kind of like, okay. I just looked at her, I just kind of stared at her, because I didn't really I wasn't going to give into that reactive feeling. I just listened to what she was saying, stared at her.
So your mind keeps trying to get you to do something, like you need to do this, you need to do X, and you just keep relaxing and opening. Yeah, it's kind of like opening your heart and feeling good, right? The sense of relaxing and feeling your body open up.
Yeah,
which then gives off which probably, well, I guarantee, causes her to notice you more.
Yeah, totally, right? Yeah, so I'm feeling all this. I'm just kind of chilling. So I look over at her. She mentions something else, and she keeps talking, and then she just stops. And it was like an awkward silence for about 5 or 6 seconds. And I just stare at her. I just smile. And she smiles. And she looks away. And she looks back and she smiles again, kind of blushes. And I just didn't say anything. So I just turned back around and kind of kept doing my thing. And I was like, that was weird. Right? So my body's still doing that thing again. I'm kind of like, okay, here we go. So just keep feeling. Just keep enjoying the moment that you're in right now, because I can actually feel. And so same thing. She turns over and says something else. And that's when I was kind of, I'm just gonna sit over next to her. But it wasn't like a reactive either. It was kind of just it was very easy to do. Not really thinking about it. I just got up and sat next to her.
Yeah, it felt like the right thing to do in that moment, right?
Yeah, but it was totally in feeling. And it wasn't like you should go do this. It was just kind of like, okay, more like it's time to go do this. And that time I got up and I went to go do it. And when I sat over there, it was just very casual. She was very warm. She warmed up to me really fucking quick. I probably said about, I don't know, maybe 10 lines. And then she was just like, well, take my number, text me. I'm gonna leave. I gotta take this guy home. And so I was like, okay, cool. Nice. So that was it. Nice. It was just simple as that.
Nice. So that it's an example that less is more. So she offered you her number without you asking, is basically what you're saying, right?
Yeah, totally.
And a lot of it came from the eye contact. A lot of it came from the presence. A lot of it came from who you're being. Anthony's very good at being. It's a hard way to put it, but he has an extreme sense of vulnerability and openness with his heart that feels really powerful. And he can get very shy, but his shyness is almost like this thing that draws women in, because he owns it so much. It's like this little nervous shyness that you do with your smile that causes people to get super curious. And it just pops up like that.
Every time you say that, it pops up.
Yeah. And then, so he draws women in with that. Anthony's done very well. He didn't start out this way. He'd had to do a lot of training and a lot of a lot of coaching, and he really shifted a lot. Yeah. And you've become one amazing coach. First of all, he meets women like crazy. You've dated a lot. I know every time we go to Bucharest, you have more women than you know how to keep up with when it comes to dating, because he's in the dating mode right now. But notice the vulnerability on him. He's sitting here saying, yeah, even me, who's done all this work and I'm getting all these women, I still get this sense of reactivity. I still get this sense of vulnerability that comes up, right?
Yeah, totally. All the time.
And you still hear it.
Yeah.
What's the difference now than before?
I'm noticing it beforehand or while it's happening. And it's just kind of it's not hard to just stop.
Yeah.
It used to be, because when you didn't notice it and you're just in it and it's controlling you and you're doing everything because you should be doing it, you don't have that awareness. Now you have that awareness. It's like, okay, this is what it's doing. I understand. I'm totally okay right now.
So you've almost created a separation from that voice that says all the stupid shit and you, and you're like, okay, there's that voice again.
Yeah.
Just let it be quiet. And
totally.
And it's really true. As you get better, that voice is still going to come up. And it's you're no longer identified with it. You're no longer taking it personal. Therefore, you don't get reactive to it, which we've been talking about. And therefore, you stay proactive with the moment, open, feeling good, relaxing, enjoying the moment, and people notice.
Yeah.
So Anthony's got a lot of great stories like this. Is there anything else you want to share that's important on this story?
No. I had a similar situation when we were in Mammoth on that snow trip a couple of days ago. And I was sitting at a table where the buffet was or whatever, and there was a girl sitting there charging her phone, and it was the same thing. I was feeling my body, and I was kind of like, I don't really have anything to say, but there was definitely that subtle connection between me and this girl. So we started talking little by little, and I would turn back around and kind of just enjoy myself again. And then she would look over, and I would notice it, and I'm like, okay, I'll say something else to her. And then she just kind of keep re-engaging with me, and I was kind of like, that's cool. So at the end of that conversation, she wrote her number down on like a pack of cigarette matches and gave it to me and told me, she was like, when you get back to LA, call me. And I was
Now again, did you ask her for the number?
I totally didn't ask her for the number.
So that's another one.
No.
See, Anthony's got his own little style here going on.
Yeah.
This is the shy man style to pick up meeting girls. I hate the term pickup, by the way, but meeting girls. And it works.
Yeah.
And so, and you've done a lot of work with the presence, right? Feeling your body. How important, based on everything you just said, do you think that feeling your body, how important is it to feel your body?
Oh, super important. Because you lose yourself when you're not in your body. It's like, you always mention going from the head and being reactive to it and doing what you should, or what your mind thinks you should do, what you think will work, kind of like manipulation in a way.
Yeah.
But when you're feeling your body, it's like you don't really want to do any of that.
No, you don't.
If you hold true to it, it's just like you don't.
Yeah.
You just stop.
There's literally, and for me, there's an awareness, like after a conversation, that especially one where there's a nice flow, like the ones you're talking about. There's a sense of awareness, and I can look back at any moment in the conversation. I can almost remember what my legs felt like, what my heart felt like, what the downward energy from the grounding, the expressive energy from the upper part of my body, and I can look back and say, oh yeah, this is what I was feeling in that moment. And what I find, and you tell me if this is true, is with students when we're out coaching, or when you're out coaching, is that some of the students, when you ask them, what were you feeling in your legs at this time? What were you feeling in your heart at this time? Can you remember even feeling your heart or your legs? A lot of them can't tell you.
Yeah, totally.
All they can tell you is what they were thinking. And that's how we know there's a problem.
Yeah, totally. It happens a lot, actually.
Yeah.
And even with that, they don't remember eye color. They don't remember the person's name, any of that stuff. So I think it's all in their head. None of it dawns on them.
No, it doesn't. It's fascinating to me how much we get identified with thought. It's absolutely fascinating. Rather than just letting the moment ride you, you're literally riding these moments and letting them almost create themselves, like a surfer rides a wave.
Yeah.
Now, it's not that you don't have any control. You do. You're setting the intention. I'm going to ride this wave to that part of the beach. I'm going to sit here and I'm going to put out an energy and a feeling and a vibe towards this girl. And I'm going to dance with it. I'm going to play with it. I'm going to give her a little bit of subtle energy. I'm going to see what she gives me back, and we're going to go back and forth.
Yeah, it's over.
So, okay, any last piece of advice for somebody out there that's listening to this and saying, I want to do what Anthony's doing? Now, it took him a while to get here. This is not an overnight thing, right?
No, totally not.
So I'm not going to tell you is there one technique they can do to do this?
No, absolutely.
Okay, so what's the one piece of advice for somebody that wants to, that's starting where they're at and wants to get to where you're at? What's the one thing they could do to help them get to that place, to be able to understand what that feels like and what it's like?
I would say just enjoy those subtle moments. Like if you're looking at a girl, for instance, you guys are making eye contact, just enjoy that moment and let it go. Like the more you do that, the more your body starts to feel like I don't know how you explain it. It really just starts to feel like, instead of you jumping in your head and being like, damn, I should have said this or I should have said that, you're kind of like, damn, that girl felt really good. She felt really good. And so when you go meet girls and you start to have that with you, you go off feeling much more than you go off what to say. And you know she feels good to you, and then you go off for that. It's a whole different game.
And I'm going to ask one more question before we close out this video. For somebody out there that's saying, but in general, I don't feel good. I can't sit down. How do you sit down and just feel good? It's like something that happens to me on occasion, but I don't feel that way all the time. And I say this because we get a lot of clients that are going through a lot of hard times. Yeah. And so the real key that I'm hearing you say is you have the ability to feel good and enjoy the moment with or without the girl. Is that correct?
Yeah, totally.
So for that client that's having trouble enjoying being with himself, what would you say?
Oh yeah, sit by yourself. Sit by yourself a lot. I sat by myself a lot, especially once I started doing these programs. I would, on my lunch break at work, I would go outside and just sit in the sun, literally just sit there and feel my legs. And it wasn't always a good feeling, man. Like, it really wasn't. Like, there was sadness, there was all kinds of stuff that was going on in my body I didn't want to feel. But the more I did it, the more I started to realize there was a lot of happiness in there too. Just random spurts of happiness in there. And it was like, oh shit, there's more in there than just this heavy feeling, this negative feeling. So, but you gotta allow that time in order to get to that place. So definitely do a lot more sitting by yourself and just enjoying what your body feels like, as opposed to trying to always leave it.
And sometimes it gets a little worse before it gets better.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
So that's powerful advice for anybody out there that's really stuck in your head, or numbed out, not feeling. This is the key. Notice that Anthony's not doing a lot of work, but he did a lot of work to get to the place where he doesn't have to do a lot of work anymore, and that's the beauty of it. So I want to invite you guys to really take a deeper look at this. And if you want to learn more about this, definitely check out Fearless. Go to thefearlessman.com and check it out. Make sure to comment in the video below. If you got a question for me, that's great. If you got a question for Anthony, that's great. Anthony's going to be doing some videos for Fearless, so we're going to get some of the coaches. We've got several coaches that are going to be popping up on the channel, turning out videos. So if you want to see some more stuff from Anthony, or if you have some specific questions for him, make sure you put it into the comment section. Or if you want to ask Anthony a question, not in the comments, but in an email, you can send it to thefearlessman.com/ask
Brian.
Ask Brian, me. You can send it to thefearlessman.com/ask Brian, and we'll make sure it gets to Anthony. If you really like this video, make sure you hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed, make sure to subscribe so you get all this great content and some of the content that Anthony's going to be putting out here in the near future. And with that said, remember, only the confident really live. See you in the next video.